Hello, some people ask me to make more videos about the Unreal Engine implementation I made for the engine sounds. So I will make shorter videos of each section to explain better step by step. So first I want a brief to show a little bit the engine, the end result. So, well, this is the car. It's this pound and comes with this vehicle movement component. That is where I got all the variables I used, like the RPM, the speed, all that. You can get it from here. So I created this vehicle movement component that handles all the audio. And well, I also added here the audio component that plays the Metasound. That, well, I will explain everything. Okay, so here in the vehicle movement component, if you search by RPM, you can see it shows the minimum and maximum RPM that the car handles. So from 900 to 7,000 in this case. So I thought about, well, modifying the pitch of the engine according to the RPM. So the idea is to find an equivalent for each RPM, an equivalent pitch. So I made 6 loops. That is this black line divided by 6 are the 6 loops that are going to be played and pitched up and down to transition from one to the other, with a small area that will be the crossfade where 2 loops are played at the same time. That it's this between the crossfade start and end, like at this little segment before the black line ends. Okay, so I made 6 loops for the on-load states and 6 for off-load. And each of these loops is 6 semitones higher than the previous one. I used Massive and Massive X based on many tutorials I watched online. This is just the macro is not used. I made it, but I didn't use it. It's fixed. It's just that the pitch of each one changes. This is the on-load. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't show. This is the other. I'll show here. This is one sound. Or here. And the other one is the one I showed before. Okay, and this is the offload. Unload. And this is the idle sound, also from Massive. Alright, so I exported this and made the loops in Reaper. I found it easier, better to do the loops there. And then Okay, I will show better this graphic. So, well, yes, the idea, as I said, is to, for instance, the first loop will have the root pitch that will be here in the middle, and it will be pitched down 3 semitones and pitch up 3 to cover all the area in blue. The second and the other 5 loops will be pitched down 4 semitones instead of 3. So in this area will be crossfading with the other one, with the previous one. So this one also 4 semitones. That's why this blue line goes one little segment before the black line, because they are crossfading here. On this area, both loops are heard, this one and this one, with lower level each of them because are crossfading, but both. All right, we can come back to this graphic later. All right, so the base Metasound is this one that shows the engine, the skidding and braking sounds, but the more complex is the engine. So here, okay, first I want to, play this a little bit. This is the throttle input determines if it's off, if it's playing the offload or the onload sound. That's the idle. Okay, so I will cover everything, but I will try to go step by step. Oh, I think I just made a change here, but nothing. Just moved something, I guess. I need to update. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the engine. First, I wanted to show what we just talked before. Instead of hard coding all the values of the crossfades for each segment, I made this section here where you input the minimum and maximum RPM, and the Metasound calculates the crossfade start and crossfade end, so the Metasound will know which of the segments should be heard, right? The others will be muted. So this minimum and maximum RPM I input here in my vehicle component in the graph in begin play. I set a reference of the audio component that I attach to the car, and another reference to the movement component. I mean, a reference of the movement component to be able to get all the values, RPM and speed and everything. I saved it on a variable, and also one for the audio component. And then I ran this function to send to the Metasound the minimum and maximum RPM, so we can calculate all the crossfades. It's just a detail. I could have hard-coded everything, right? All right. So back here, this is just well, if you subtract the minimum RPM to the maximum RPM and divide by 6, you get the size of each segment, how many RPMs are, or which RPMs are going to be played on each segment. And here okay, I calculate the crossfade end, right? So if you add a size of one of the ranges to the minimum RPM, you get the crossfade end. That is this, right? So to the minimum, you add the size of a segment, you get the crossfade end, and if you add two segments, you get the second crossfade end, and so on. So this is here, all the crossfade ends. And this is for the crossfade start, that it has some modifications since the last video, but yeah, more or less is this. I divide the range by 6, so you get a range segment, that is this little segment here. So if you subtract the crossfade to the crossfade end, you subtract the little segment, you get the RPM on the cross here, right? When the crossfade starts. This is called first crossfade, so this is the first crossfade start, and this is the first crossfade end, and so on. So here it's all that. So with all this, then we will see here that each of these plays one segment, one loop, and it knows where it should start. How should be pitched down or up depending on the current RPM. But let me see. Another thing, yeah, I showed already this, but okay, I think I will continue showing you how this engine, how each of these Metasounds works on the next video. Thank you.